Chairman. Section 3 of the Natural Gas Act requires that natural gas exports to countries that have free trade agreement with the U.S. be approved without delay. For countries that do not have a free trade agreement with the U.S., the Energy Secretary is required to approve export requests unless they find such exports will not be consistent with the public interest. But this is where we've gotten into trouble. Therefore, the Natural Gas Act includes a very rebuttable presumption in favor of authorizing U.S. LNG exports, knowing that there are just a handful of free trade agreement countries. In early 2024, after succumbing to political pressure from environmental activists, the Biden-Harris administration announced an indefinite ban on issuing export permits to non-free trade agreement countries while it reviewed the climate impacts of U.S. LNG. During this ban, Russia overtook the U.S. as the lead gas supplier to Europe, and long-term American contracts were jeopardized. Global buyers were forced to look towards less clean and less reliable sources from adversarial nations. Thankfully, the Trump administration quickly reversed this ban, and just last month, the OE issued its first LNG export approval. My legislation, the Unlocking Our Domestic LNG Potential Act, would ensure that a ban is never again placed on LNG exports. By removing DOE from the process, export restrictions would be repealed and LNG exports would have equal treatment with other commodities already in place and other issues that we have already faced. LNG exports unequivocally benefit our economy and domestic prices, and Congress must act to remove the politics from energy exports, just as this committee did in 2015 when it lifted the crude oil export ban. The IEA expects global gas demand to reach record highs in the coming years, underscoring the need for new LNG supply. And it must be the United States, not Iran, not Russia, nor any other adversarial country that meets that demand and supplies affordable, clean, and abundant LNG to the world. Iran is just one example and one of 4 countries with substantial proven natural gas reserves. And the conflict that we have currently seen there, instigated by Iran's terrorist notions and actions over the last few years, reminds us of the geopolitical risk posed when adversarial regimes control energy supplies. At a time when Iran continues to seek leverage and using its resources for strategic influence in direct opposition to U.S. and Western interest, American LNG must fill the gap in the global market. Our allies and trading partners should not be dependent on nefarious actors that use energy revenues to fund terrorism. U.S. LNG offers not only energy security, but also geopolitical stability, reliability, and cleaner alternatives for buyers around the world. I wish that we were not here in this situation, but it is the facts of the previous administration, and that is all we can go on, that demonstrated a willingness to kill this industry. And I urge all of my colleagues to support H.R. 1949 and yield back.